So hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on our video. Today I want to share a very special story with you. This is the story as to why it took me and my wife 20 plus years before we finally tried cruising. And I'm telling you this story because I want to tell you about the power of, or should I say, the influence of other people, and why you shouldn't just take what people say at face value. Don't make the same mistake that I did. So, once upon a time, I was a very young coach and a teacher. This was within my first probably year or two in education 30 plus years ago. And I was in the gym at our local high school. It was myself and two other teachers. Those of you that are PE teachers, you will be able to relate to this. It was a rainy day, and they had all the kids plus extra kids in the gym. If you know, you know. So we were watching the kids, monitoring the kids in the gym, and so you had, three teachers at a table, and we were monitoring the gym and talking about life and this, that, and the other. And then it happened. A very young lady that was also a PE teacher was with us. Her and I knew each other pretty well, and she was talking about her cruise experience. I believe it was on a Carnival cruise, and it was her first ever cruise. I, of course, had never been on a cruise before in my life. I was probably entertaining the idea at the time, but, it wasn't high on my list. But she proceeded to tell us for a good 10 minutes or so how miserable she was on this cruise. She said she was on a 3-night cruise, and evidently there must have been either bad weather or something like that. And she said that you could not pay her to get on another cruise ship. She said she got sick soon after the ship left port. And she was sick the entire cruise. She said she spent, in her words, she said she spent the entirety of the cruise in her stateroom next to the toilet. She said she could not keep hardly anything down. She said she couldn't keep anything solid down and barely anything down liquid. Of course, they went to the medical staff. They tried various types of ailments to help her, to which she said had no help whatsoever for her. She said she went and she either personally spoke to, or she got word to the captain. And again, this is what she said. She said that she would pay him every cent in her checking and saving account. That she would write him a check on the second night if he would get a helicopter on that boat and fly her off the ship, because she was so incredibly miserable. She was so sick and she was so miserable. Needless to say, I'm sitting here, 23, 24 years old, and I am like terrified. I am absolutely horrified to hear her say all this. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I just recently found out that I suffer from motion sickness at Universal Studios, which is perhaps another story for another day, if enough of you react to this video. Just saying. But anyway, I found out that I had motion sickness. So I'm sitting here, like I said, 24 years old, listening to this horrific story from this young lady, thinking, if a person that may or may not have motion sickness got that sick on a cruise ship, I'm never going on one. I'm never getting on a ship. I made up my mind right there and there. I'm not going to pay money and be sick for 3 days straight. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elisa and I get married, several years later. And, we start our life together. And, of course, we are huge Disney fans, and we go to Disney all the time and so on. And if you look on the channel, I've got some references to that. But Elisa wanted to try cruising for many years, and I shut it down. Based on this one story that I heard way back when. I said, absolutely not. I'm going to get sick. I'm not going to pay money to be sick on a ship. Because I could see myself hugging the toilet in the stateroom, you know, being sick all the time and having a miserable time. And I said, I'm not going to do that. And like I said, that was for the better part of 20 years. 20 years, I would not entertain the idea of a cruise. So right now you're wondering, so what? So, you know, you call yourself a cruise coach now. What changed? Well, not that long ago, several years ago, again, Elisa kept asking. And so finally I said, okay, I tell you what, I'll go one time. We'll go for a three-night cruise, and I will suck it up, you know, for you. And we actually took Zach and Andrea, my son and his wife, along with us. And I said, worst case scenario, I get sick, and we know now that we can never, or at least I can never go on cruises ever again. Well, we get on the Disney Dream. That video is somewhere on this channel if you'd like to look at it. We get on the Disney Dream, and the rest is history. I have an absolutely amazing time. Don't even get nauseated, much less sick. Now, I do have my patches, and I still will use my patches. And I will take, you know, oral medication if I need to, you know, to help. But knock on wood, I hope and pray that I never ever do get sick. But up to this point, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. We've been on a couple little turbulent, you know, rides in the past where the ship was kind of moving a little bit, but no problems, thank God. And I tell you this story because I don't want this to happen to you, okay? Again, I'm your cruise coach. I'm here to help. Don't let someone's bad experience influence you. Give cruising a try. You know, whether it's Disney, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, you know, MCS, Holland, whatever, all right? Give it a shot. You might just very well get bit by the cruise bug like Elisa and I have been. And if you are bit by the cruise bug and you want to try out, in particular, Royal Caribbean or Disney for that matter, give me a shot. I am now a travel agent, and I will be more than happy to book everything for you and take that stress away from you. Come to a guy that's been there. I'll give you some free money, some onboard credit at Royal Caribbean right now. So give me an opportunity to serve you if best. So I hope you enjoyed the story. It absolutely, you know, now I live with a lot of regrets, because think about all these years that Lisa and I could have been enjoying cruises, and because of that one story, that one incident, I let it affect me. So don't let the same thing happen to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you were entertained. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions at all, I always reply to any comments on my channel. And as always, if you could give me a subscription, I sure would appreciate it, so I can continue to make videos like this and more. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.